Deep in the dense forests of North America and high atop the frozen peaks of the Himalayas, two legends have haunted humanity for centuries. Bigfoot and the Yeti. Are they real flesh and blood creatures, or are they just shadows dancing at the edge of our imagination? Today, we're embarking on a journey into the heart of the mystery, using science to dissect the evidence behind the world's most famous cryptids. This isn't just about folklore. It's about what we know, what we think we know, and the vast unexplored territories that still exist on our own planet. So grab your gear and let's go monster hunting. First, let's venture into the Pacific Northwest, the legendary home of Bigfoot, also known by its Salish name, Sasquatch. The creature is described as a massive, bipedal, ape-like being, covered in dark brown or reddish hair, standing anywhere from 6 to 9 feet tall. For decades, reports of strange howls, massive footprints, and fleeting glimpses have poured in from all over the continent. But the single most iconic piece of evidence remains the Patterson-Gimlin film. Shot in 1967 in Bluff Creek, California, this short, grainy clip shows a large, hairy figure walking across a clearing, turning to look directly at the camera before disappearing into the trees. For over 50 years, this film has been analyzed, debated, and dissected frame by frame. Skeptics have long dismissed it as a simple hoax, a man in a costume. They point to inconsistencies and the questionable background of the filmmakers. But believers and even some biomechanics experts argue that the creature's gait, with its compliant bent-knee stride and visible muscle flexion, would have been incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to fake with the special effects technology of the 1960s. The proportions, the way the muscles seem to ripple under the skin, it just doesn't look like a person simply walking in a fur suit. Could it be the real deal? To explore the biological possibility of Bigfoot, we have to look back in time. Way back. Enter Gigantopithecus blacki, an enormous species of ape that lived in Asia from about 2 million to 300,000 years ago. Standing nearly 10 feet tall and weighing over 1,000 pounds, Gigantopithecus is the largest primate known to have ever existed. The theory goes that a population of these giants could have crossed the Bering Land Bridge into North America, just as early humans did, and evolved in isolation, giving rise to the modern Sasquatch. We only have fossilized jawbones and teeth, so we don't know for sure if it was bipedal. But it offers a tantalizing possibility, a real-world candidate for the creature we call Bigfoot. The idea that a relict population of giant apes could survive undetected in the vast, dense wilderness of North America is staggering, but perhaps not entirely impossible. Now, let's journey across the world, to the roof of the world, the Himalayas. Here, another legend roams the icy peaks, the Yeti, or the Abominable Snowman. Known as Meta in Sherpa folklore, the Yeti is a figure of both fear and reverence. Descriptions vary. Some tales depict a hulking white-furred beast perfectly camouflaged against the snow, while others describe a smaller, more aggressive creature with reddish-brown fur. Unlike the often shy Bigfoot, the Yeti is sometimes portrayed as a dangerous predator of the high mountains. The most famous stories come from Western mountaineers in the early 20th century, who reported seeing giant human-like footprints in the snow at extreme altitudes. Famed explorer Sir Edmund Hillary, one of the first to summit Mount Everest, even mounted an expedition in 1960 specifically to find evidence of the Yeti, though he came back empty-handed. For years, the only physical proof consisted of these mysterious tracks and supposed Yeti scalps held in remote monasteries, which were later identified as being made from the hide of a local goat antelope. The game changed dramatically in the 21st century with the advent of genetic analysis. In 2014, a groundbreaking study led by geneticist Brian Sykes analyzed 9 hair samples said to belong to the Yeti, collected from various locations across the Himalayas. The results were astonishing. 2 of the samples, one from Ladakh, India, and another from Bhutan, didn't match any known living creature. Instead, their DNA was a perfect match for a fossilized jawbone of an ancient polar bear that lived in Svalbard, Norway, over 40,000 years ago. This led to a stunning hypothesis. Could the Yeti be a surviving, previously unknown species of bear? or perhaps a hybrid between a polar bear and a brown bear. This creature would be perfectly adapted to the harsh, high-altitude environment of the Himalayas. It would explain the sightings, the footprints, and the folklore. It moves the Yeti from the realm of pure myth into the category of a potential undiscovered biological species. A bear isn't an ape man, but a new or relict bear species would still be one of the greatest zoological discoveries of our time. Subsequent DNA studies have mostly linked Yeti samples to known Himalayan brown bears and black bears. But that one tantalizing link to an ancient polar bear keeps the mystery alive. So we have compelling footage for Bigfoot and intriguing DNA evidence for the Yeti. But with all our technology, our satellite imagery, our camera traps, our drones, why haven't we found a definitive body? This is where modern cryptid hunting techniques come in. Scientists are now using a powerful tool called environmental DNA or eDNA. The idea is simple. Every living thing sheds genetic material into its environment. By taking samples of soil, water, or even air, we can sequence the DNA within them to create a complete census of every species and even those we never see. Researchers have used eDNA to scan lakes and forests in areas with frequent Bigfoot sightings. The results? They found a rich tapestry of life, including DNA from bears, deer, wolves, and of course, humans. But so far, no primate DNA that can't be explained. Not a single sequence that points to an unknown ape. This doesn't completely disprove Bigfoot's existence. The North American wilderness is unimaginably vast, but it does make the hiding place for a breeding population of giants shrink with every sample taken. This leads us to another crucial aspect of the puzzle, our own minds. The field of psychology offers fascinating insights into why we see monsters. Our brains are pattern-seeking machines. When faced with ambiguous information, a fleeting shape in the shadows, a strange sound in the night, our brain desperately tries to make sense of it, often by filling in the blanks with familiar templates. Most sightings are likely cases of misidentification, mistaking a bear, a moose, or even a tree stump for something more mysterious. So, where does this leave us? Are Bigfoot and the Yeti simply products of folklore and misidentification, amplified by our human need to believe in something beyond the ordinary? Or are they flesh and blood creatures, masters of hiding, forever eluding our scientific grasp? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. These legends are more than just monster stories. They represent one of the last great wildernesses, the unknown. In a world where every corner of the globe seems to be mapped, measured, and posted online, the idea that a giant undiscovered animal could still be out there is deeply compelling. It speaks to our primal connection with nature and the wild, untamed world that once surrounded our ancestors. The Sasquatch and the Yeti are modern-day dragons, symbols of the vast, powerful forces of nature that we have yet to fully understand. Whether they are real or not, their stories serve a purpose. They keep us curious. They push us to explore. They remind us that there are still mysteries left to solve. As long as there are dark forests and unexplored mountain peaks, the legends of Bigfoot and the Yeti will continue to walk with us. What do you think? Are these creatures real, or are they a fascinating chapter in human psychology? Let us know your theories and your own experiences down in the comments. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of cryptids, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the unknown. We'll see you next time.